The moment new nightmare began. Video that nobody else shows you. Watch the first stone being thrown. Stand by for hair-raising India Today video break. Top focus on 5 Live.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Shiva. This is 5 Live. Over the last 4 days, viewer, you've seen multiple videos of the violence as it erupted in Nu. You've seen the crossfire, you've seen the damage, the destruction, you've seen the social media provocations, you've seen how people are living in fear in Nu. They're abandoning places like Gurugram and the Mewat region. What you haven't seen so far, amidst a storm of claims and counterclaims, is who threw the first stone or who fired the first shot. Here in India Today, with our factual reporting that has garnered the highest viewership in a week where India has literally been on edge, I'm going to show you that video and answer that question once and for all. I'm also going to be telling you how what was happening in Mewat was also being watched very closely, believe it or not, from across the border. I'm Shiv, this is 5 Live, these are the headlines. Fresh clashes erupt in Manipur. As always, India Today, the only crew on site to bring it to you live. Forces and Meitei protesters clash in Bishnupur. Chili spray, bullets and tear gas fired.
There's a massive confrontation taking place here. The bullets being fired. This is the massive confrontation taking place. Stone pelting.
Mega India Today impact after India Today exposed online hate in the Nu riot. FIR filed against 3 social media influencers. 20 hate video links traced for amplifying and creating communal tension. Delhi Services Bill showdown in Parliament. Home Minister Amit Shah hits out at Aam Aadmi Party, says Kejriwal is objecting to the bill only to conceal his corruption. Big win for Hindu side in the Gyanvapi case as the Allahabad High Court clears the decks for the Archaeological Survey of India survey of the complex. Muslim side moves Supreme Court to challenge the order. Karnataka hijab row rerun, this time in India's financial capital. Mumbai College bans burqa on campus, says students must only wear uniforms. Every riot has a single trigger point. Every act of communal tension has something that happened on the ground which serves as a tipping point, after which everything completely gets consumed. This image that I'm putting on your screen for you, that you will see nowhere else but here on India Today, captures on camera the precise moment tensions exploded in Nu in Haryana at Delhi's doorstep. What you're going to see in the report that's coming up right now is how stones began to fly from the hilltops on the border of the Rajasthan-Haryana states, pointed at that Bajrang Dal VHP procession which had reached the Nalhar Mahadev temple. Now the procession members were armed with rifles. They had weapons with them as well because they claimed they needed to be ready for precisely this kind of attack. No matter who you believe about what really happened and how social media triggered the mood that created this terrible violence, here's the shot that began it all.
A glimpse of the sheer terror that was unleashed on Yatris on July 31st in Haryana's Nu. India Today has accessed 3 videos that show you how the new nightmare really unfolded, with a mob armed to the teeth ambushed locals from all sides at a Shiv temple.
आदमी देख ले ये भाई सामने ऊपर देखो.
The first video, shot by a terrified yatri, shows cops armed with AK-56 aiming for the hills. People are scrambling on the road for cover as the sound of gunfire can be heard. Cops, however, dressed in civil clothes, hold back from firing.
ये देखो भाई फायरिंग होते हुए ये पहाड़ों पे बैठे भाई फायरिंग कर रहे थे हमारे.
Another video shot by a local shows everyone hiding behind vehicles as the bullet train continues. Unarmed cops can be seen also taking cover, helpless, and shows you how completely unprepared they were for the ambush from the hills.
ये देखो भाई फायरिंग होते हुए ये पहाड़ों पे बैठे भाई फायरिंग कर रहे थे हमारे.
The armed mob, clearly at a strategically higher location, manages to fire non-stop at yatris, with a clear aim of ensuring maximum casualties.
देखो ये देखो भाई फायर.
The next video is from inside the temple. There is no shelter, no place to run, no place to hide for terrified yatris. One of them can be even heard asking what are the cops doing.
ये पुलिस कर क्या रही है?
Police officials with bulletproof vests can be seen ushering people inside to protect them from the spray of bullets raining on them. Smoke can be seen billowing out of areas close to the temple, and dozens of people can be seen standing in the Shiv temple with nowhere to go. These videos on India Today answer the one question India has been asking. Who started the riot? Who opened fire first? The rioters who stood strategically atop a hill and fired non-stop at innocent yatris have now been arrested.
क्यों आपने आगजनी की घटनाओं को दिया?
नहीं सर, हमें सोते लाए.
इसमें हम ना जाए सोते उनको 5 बजे उठा के लाए हैं सर. ये 5 बजे सुबह वो सोते हैं, वो उठा के लाए हैं. कहीं सीसीटीवी फुटेज मिले, हमारा कोई रोल मिले, तब तो हम गुनहगार हैं. बाजार में नहीं थे.
बाजार में नहीं थे, लेकिन आप सबके ऊपर आरोप है कि आपने आगजनी की घटनाओं को अंजाम दिया था.
नहीं दिया जाए.
These videos tell a story of manufactured terror, of how the riots that broke out on July 31st and August 1st was pre-planned, motivated and completely orchestrated to spread unrest. With Arvind Ojha and Sushant Mehra, Bureau Report, India Today.
And the reason I'm going to say this again is that this is an important video that's going to become part of the investigation and is going to be crucial into depicting an accurate timeline of the sequence of events and how they actually unfolded. Arvind Ojha is the journalist who accessed this video. It's a big exclusive amidst a huge amount of claims and counterclaims and a lot of misinformation, including old videos that are doing the rounds. This is the moment that Arvind Ojha has reported when the VHP Bajrang Dal procession was at the Nalhar Mahadev temple, and then the firing or the stones began to land from up on the hilltops. It was almost like an ambush. Arvind, इस वीडियो में एग्जैक्टली क्या हो रहा है हमारे व्यूअर्स को बताइए डिटेल में, क्योंकि ऐसा लगता है कि ये ऑलमोस्ट एक एम्बुश जैसा था. जो पहाड़ पे लोग बैठे थे वो इंतजार कर रहे थे इसके लिए.
नहीं, बिल्कुल. देखिए, 31 अगस्त को आखिर मेवात नूह में क्या हुआ था एग्जैक्टली, इसको लेकर अलग अलग तरह की बातें हो रही हैं, खासतौर से सोशल मीडिया पर. लेकिन जो इंडिया टुडे ने ये वीडियो एक्सेस किया है, ये नल्हड़ के शिव मंदिर का है, और जो शोभा यात्रा है वो इसी नल्हड़ मंदिर से निकलनी थी. इंडिया टुडे ने जो यहाँ पर इंसिडेंट हुआ था उसकी FIR भी एक्सेस की है, जो पुलिस वालों ने ही फाइल की है. एफआईआर की अगर बात करें और ये जो वीडियो एक्सेस किया है इसकी बात करें तो इसमें आपको साफ साफ दिखाई दे रहा होगा कि नल्हड़ मंदिर के अंदर लोग छिपे हुए हैं। एक वीडियो में गाड़ियां बाकायदा दिखाई दे रही है, गाड़ी की शेल्टर लेकर एक पुलिस वाला छिपा हुआ है, बाकी कई लोग छिपे हुए हैं। और जो हिल्स एरिया है, इस हिल्स एरिया से लगातार फायरिंग हो रही है। अगर इसकी बात की जाए, ये मंदिर है, मंदिर के आसपास बड़े बड़े इस तरीके के खेत हैं, जो ये खेत आपको दिखाई दे रहे होंगे, इस तरीके के बड़े बड़े मैदान है और बीच में मंदिर है और चारों तरफ इस तरह का हिल्स है। जरा आप कैमरा में प्रदीप गुप्ता को दिखाएंगे, शिव, ये आप देख पा रहे हैं इस तरह के जो बड़े बड़े हिल्स है वो हिल्स है और इन्हीं हिल्स से लगातार फायरिंग हो रही थी नीचे की तरफ, पुलिस पार्टी की तरफ और शोभा यात्रा की तरफ। और उसके बाद ये वो प्लेस है जहां से वायलेंस की शुरुआत हुई। और बहुत हैरानी की बात है शिव कि वायलेंस की शुरुआत होती है इस मंदिर से और देखते ही देखते 20 किलोमीटर दूर तक ये जो पूरा वायलेंस है वो फैल जाता है। कम से कम ये जो वीडियो है इससे ये एस्टैब्लिश्ड होता है कि जो हिल से लोग फायरिंग कर रहे हैं या जिस तरह से वायलेंस हो रहा है, तैयारी पूरी थी, पहले से लोग तैयार थे। जो एफआईआर है उसके मुताबिक जो रिलीजियस स्लोगन है वो 600 से 700 की मॉब थी वो लगा रही थी और उसके बाद वो अटैक करते हैं। इलीगल आर्म्स उनके पास होते हैं और वीडियो में क्लियरली साउंड सुनाई दे रहा है कि किस तरीके से वो बाकायदा फायरिंग कर रहे हैं। पुलिस वाले भी हवा में फायरिंग करते हैं ताकि वो रुके, लेकिन लगातार फायरिंग होती रहती है। और मंदिर से कुछ दूरी पर एक वीडियो में साफ को आपको दिखाई दे रहा होगा, काफी धुआं उठ रहा है। जो शोभा यात्रा में गाड़ियां थी उसको आग के हवाले कर दिया गया था। तो ये तो क्लियर है कि जिस तरीके से इस शोभा यात्रा के 6 से 7 दिन पहले दोनों ही साइड से लगातार सोशल मीडिया पर ट्रिगर्ड किया जा रहा था, चैलेंज किया जा रहा था। इस वजह से ऐसा लगता है कि जब ये शोभा यात्रा निकाली जा रही थी तो पूरी तैयारी थी और पूरी तैयारी के साथ अटैक किया गया था।
और दोनों साइड के जो सोशल मीडिया पे जो था, ऑल द कंटेंट, Shreya, you know, you've been looking at this also very closely. The social media atmosphere had reached a boiling point, and in many ways the decks were cleared for this kind of confrontation. But what you and your team, Arvind and his team, have revealed today through this video is that, this was almost like a military-style confrontation. Entrenched positions had been taken on a hilltop. There was advanced intelligence about this yatra arriving there. The people in the yatra were armed with rifles as well, as we've uncovered in our videos, because they also, obviously knew that they would probably be attacked. It seems like a crossfire was the intention, Shreya. That's what it looks like.
Well, absolutely, so Shiv. This entire video clearly established that this was nothing less than an ambush that was done from the adjoining hill areas on that Nalhar Shiv Mandir when the Yatris had actually reached there. It's also important to point out that this is not the first time, Shiv, that this has happened in Mewat. We've heard news even earlier when police team has gone to carry out raids, be it arresting other criminals, be it arresting cyber criminals. There similar attacks have happened on the police teams as well. People usually go retrace themselves in the hills and from there they usually attack or ambush. So this is a style that has existed from before. Pointing out to the question that since the police was aware that the mandir was also situated in a locality like this, why wasn't additional forces also posted in the hill regions? So as we talk about the video which clearly establishes an ambush, the question also lies on the police who knew that this similar situation has happened before. Why wasn't enough deployment done in the manner so that this could have been avoided?
अरविंद, इस सवाल पे क्या आप कुछ बता सकते हैं? पुलिस के साइड से उनके पास क्यों तैयारी नहीं थी? उनको पता है कि ये हो सकता है, ये एम्बुश बिल्कुल हो सकता है। अगर हम गूगल मैप्स पे भी देखेंगे, ये जो मंदिर का जो लोकेशन है, ये बिल्कुल पहाड़ के सामने है, जहां पे काफी सारे ऊंचे वांटेज पॉइंट्स हैं। तो क्यों वो प्रिपेयर्डनेस क्यों नहीं था पुलिस के साइड से?
नहीं, और देखिए यही बहुत बड़ा लैप्स है शिव। मैं आपको बताऊं, इंडिया टुडे की स्पेशल इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीम ने न सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया बल्कि हमने जो इंटेलिजेंस ऑफिसर्स हैं उनसे भी बात करने की कोशिश की। इस बार जो रूट था वो काफी बड़ा था, तकरीबन 100 किलोमीटर का रूट था और जो पुलिस सीनियर ऑफिशियल है उनका कहना है कि चूंकि रूट काफी लंबा था उस वजह से जगह जगह पुलिस को लगाया गया था, लेकिन फोर्स काफी कम थी। यहां तक कि कुछ फोर्स गुरुग्राम से भी मंगाई गई थी, जिसमें एक इंस्पेक्टर क्राइम ब्रांच का था, उसको पेट में गोली लगी थी फायरिंग के दौरान। फोर्स काफी कम थी। ऐसा सोर्सेस बताते हैं कि किसी दूसरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में किसी वीवीआईपी मूवमेंट पर भी कुछ फोर्स भेजी गई थी, इस वजह से कुछ फोर्स कम हुई। लेकिन सवाल यहाँ पर फोर्स से ज्यादा इस बात का इश्यू, क्योंकि फोर्स में ऐसे कई पुलिसकर्मी हैं, 2 होमगार्ड शहीद हो चुकी हैं, उनको मौत के घाट इसी मॉब ने उतार दिया। उसके अलावा क्राइम ब्रांच का एक इंस्पेक्टर है जो गुरुग्राम से खासतौर पर उसको मेवात भेजा गया था, उसको पेट में गोली लगी, और भी कई पुलिस वाले वो घायल हुए। जो एफआईआर है और जो वीडियो क्लियरली, इस तरह के वीडियो हमने इंडिया टुडे ने एक्सेस किए, लेकिन इस तरह के जो रियल एक्चुअल वायलेंस थी वो तो कोई देख ही नहीं पाया, क्योंकि पेट्रोल बम से अटैक किया जा रहा था। पूरे जो मॉब थी वो पूरी तरह से आम थी, तैयारी पहले से थी, ये क्लियर्ड है। क्योंकि लगातार जो हमने इन्वेस्टिगेट भी किया कि सोशल मीडिया पर चाहे बिट्टू बजरंगी हो, चाहे मोनू हो, या फिर दूसरी तरफ से बहुत से ऐसे लोग थे जो मेवात नहीं आने के लिए चैलेंज कर रहे थे, तो ये क्लियर था कि पहले से तैयारी थी। लेकिन जो मेवात के जो खासतौर से लोकल्स लोग थे वो काफी ज्यादा तैयारी थे। वो कम से कम ये इस वीडियो में एस्टैब्लिश्ड होता है, जो न सिर्फ शोभा यात्रा के लोगों को चैलेंज कर रहे थे बल्कि पुलिस को भी चैलेंज कर रहे थे। आप वीडियो में देखिए तो मंदिर के अंदर पुलिस वाले जो लोग हैं उनके साथ छिपे हुए नजर आ रहा है। एक पुलिस वाला तो गाड़ी के नीचे छिपे हुए नजर आ रहा है, जबकि उसके पास वेपन्स है। तो इससे आप अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि सिचुएशन किस तरह की रही है।
Police totally unprepared, complete lapse on their part, clear signs of an ambush, premeditation, preparation, as Shreya and Arvind are reporting on this big India Today exclusive, key to the investigation and depicting an accurate sequence of events. Both of our reporters will continue to be with us. Shreya and Arvind, stay safe. We'll keep coming back to you on that. Now, remember, on India Today, we've been showing you what Arvind and Shreya were just talking about. The social media aspect, the social media poison and provocations and threats and challenges that had begun from around July the 23rd. And for about 8 days, they kept increasing, they kept intensifying, deteriorating, becoming more and more vicious until the lid actually exploded. We showed you Bittu Bajrangi, we showed you Monu Manesar, and others from the VHP and the Bajrang Dal. Now let's show you how there was social media poison also happening from members of the Muslim community in Nu, including a person called Mohammad Samar, who I'll be introducing you into just a moment, but also this individual you see on your screen, who's not sitting in Mewat, not sitting in Nu, but sitting all the way in Pakistan. He identifies himself as Ehsan Mewati Pakistani. That's his social media name. And this individual, as you're going to see now in an India Today exclusive by my colleague Balkrishna, is that he's been pouring poison, pouring threats and viciousness on social media to call attention to Mewat, preparing and organizing for the violence that's taking place there. Watch this exclusive report.
31st July, Nu. Violent clashes erupted at Delhi's doorstep. On the same day, a video on social media went viral, where a man was heard appealing to Muslims to kill absconding cow vigilante Monu Manesar.
और भाई आज तो मजो आगो है, टंडो डाल दियो है आज तो भाई, मैं कह रहा हूँ मजो आगो। और जो ये नारा लगाने अल्लाहु अकबर, यकीन कर यासु तो भाई सीना ना चौड़ो होगो हमारो।
Many identified him as a YouTuber who goes by the name Ehsan Mewati Pakistani. Some claimed that he lives in India and urged Haryana police to arrest him.
सही अब पतो लग रहा हो कि म्यों होतम, मतलब मोनू मानेसर छोड़ो मत या कि तो मारू मैं।
India Today has investigated this man who was spewing venom on social media when the clashes in Nu were at its peak. Ehsan Mewati has been uploading content on YouTube since 2019. He has over 80,000 subscribers and 85 lakh views. He has a second YouTube channel called Ehsan Mio, where he has close to 8,500 subscribers. On Facebook, he has more than 1 lakh followers.
अल्लाह अकबर का जो नारा लगाना है ये कमाल है तुम वीडियो देखो आगे बाद आऊंगा मैं
Ehsan Mewati mentions his location as Alwar, Rajasthan on Facebook page. But his profile lists Kairor Pakka, a tehsil in Pakistan's Punjab province, as his location. India Today managed to contact Ehsan Mewati. He told us that he is a farmer and his brother is in Pakistan police.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम guys, this is me Ehsan Mewati, Pakistan का क्या हाल
He claims that he uses Mewati in his name because his ancestors are from Mewat.
है मेवात में
India Today dug deep into the videos uploaded on Ehsan Mewati's YouTube channel. The names and numbers written on billboards revealed that he lives in Chammor, a village in Bahawalpur, Pakistan.
क्योंकि हमारी मेवात हमारा मियो ये डरा क्यों पड़ा है काय चीज से डर रहा है
In the last few months, he started uploading communally sensitive videos. India Today investigation also uncovered some vulgar content on his channel. So what does a man living in Pakistan have to do with no violence? Why did he post videos on Haryana clashes? Only a full cyber investigation will reveal the real motive. Bureau Report, India Today.
And India Today's Balkrishna, my colleague, senior editor with our fact-check team, is live from the newsroom on this story. He's been looking through a lot of the misinformation that's been doing the rounds, which typically happens at a time like this. Bala, thanks for your time here on the show. This report that you've put together on Ehsan Mewati, Pakistani, is very, very intriguing. I have so many questions. A man sitting in Pakistan with an unusual level of interest, specifically in what's happening in Mewat. What are you making of it? Because, you look at this kind of thing very often, Bala.
Yeah, thank you, Shiv. We started investigating this man when we saw that on social media, many people were wondering that this man is posting such instigating videos and using such abusive language, then why police is not arresting him? Then when we started looking at his social media profiles, initially it was a bit confusing because as we saw in the report, somewhere he says that he's from Alwar, Rajasthan, at other places he said that he's from Pakistan, and even his name appears differently. Then we realized that this person is is a YouTuber basically, and we could finally we tried to contact him. Initially he didn't pick up our phone, but finally we managed to track him down, and I spoke to him for quite some time today. And then we asked him that why he is up to this and why he is putting such kind of videos. So first thing first, we are now sure that he lives in Bahawalpur area, in a village 7 kilometers from Bahawalpur in Punjab in Pakistan. And he says that he would love to come to India, but he has never been to India. That is what he's told us. And he said that actually his ancestors migrated from Alwar to Pakistan, and that is why he still thinks that at heart he is a Mewati. Now the second question is that why is posting such kind of videos? So there could be two reasons for this. We asked him that why, because he has never been to India, then why so closely tracking everything that is going there, and especially about the videos in which he's saying, instigating people to kill Manu Manesar, and he says that Muslims must kill him. So we asked him that why he's tracking these events so closely.
Yes.
So what he said that he's actually very upset that the things that is going on in Mewat and Nu, and he says actually that he has never been to India, but he tracks everything because his heart belongs to there, to Mewat. He feels that at heart he is still a Mewati, and he says that he was upset at the police not doing anything about the social media videos, and basically but when we looked at his other profile, the kind of videos that has been posting earlier, so we saw that basically he has latched onto this opportunity to just increase the number of his subscribers. As I told you that on YouTube and Facebook he has on Facebook he has 1 lakh plus subscribers. Similarly on YouTube he has 80,000 followers. So he thought this is something he has been talking about Mewat. He keeps on saying that I'm a Mewati in his videos, and initially he has been posting some irrelevant content, even some vulgar content, some cheap kind of joke about women. But recently we saw that he latched onto this opportunity opportunity that was that violence going on in Mewat, and he started posting videos about that. And he says that actually he is a YouTuber, he is in some agricultural land in Pakistan, and he says that he's just upset, and that is why he posted these videos.
Incredible details that Bala and his team have put together. A man in Pakistan, Bahawalpur, 7 kilometers from the city of Bahawalpur, which also happens to be the, the headquarter town of the Jaish-e-Mohammed. We don't know what links he has. He seems to be a YouTuber just looking to increase his followers. But his role in the entire social media poison cannot be discounted, because at the end of the day, as Bala and all of us in India today have been reporting, 6 people have died, 200 vehicles have been burnt, and untold damage has been conducted. So can this man be off the hook just because he's across the line of control? We'll make sure that something happens. We hope the government is watching. This is the man who was part of the social media poison. Bala, thanks very much, and great report with those details that puts another jigsaw piece into place into just how all of this was made possible until the pressure was simply too high, and then you saw those stones flying. Well, after Monday's violence in Nu, which is still shaking the nation, we've shown you Ehsan Mewati, Pakistani, we've shown you Monu Manesar, but it all also started on social media with Bittu Bajrangi. That's this guy you see on your screens right now, a self-anointed cow vigilante and a leader of a self-anointed group called the Bajrang Force. Not Bajrang Dal, but Bajrang Force. Well, he's also come under the scanner now because several questions are being raised about his role in the violence. As always, the police is on the lookout for everyone, but it seems like only India today knows where they are and how to get them to talk. Take a look at this exclusive report.
Preparing the battleground online. His unchecked aggression on social media foreshadowed Monday's mayhem in Haryana's Nu. Bittu Bajrangi streamed multiple live videos loaded with provocative messaging as he made his way to the VHP's Braj Mandal Yatra on Monday. India Today has tracked down this provocator. A self-anointed cow vigilante, a leader of a self-anointed Bajrang force. A man named in at least 4 cases, the latest linked to his role at Nu on Monday. Earlier, he stood accused of inciting communal riots based in Faridabad on the outskirts of the national capital. Bittu Bajrangi sounded unapologetic. He pleaded not guilty. The man in his 50s sought to project the VHP's Yatra as a peaceful march. He defended the swords and guns carried by participants as ritual arms.
जो एक आध गन्स होंगी भी तो वो लाइसेंस की हैं, अवैध नहीं है। और तलवार हमारी क्या होती है, पूजा करने वाली होती है। ये तलवार हमारी शादी ब्याह वाली होती है, काटने मारने वाली नहीं होती।
In the same breath though, Bittu Bajrangi advocated iron-fisted methods against the other side, calling them terrorists.
ये आतताई जिम्मेदार है, जिन्होंने ऐसी घटना को अंजाम दिया, और वो आतताइयों पे योगी सरकार की तरह उनके घरों पे बुलडोजर चलने चाहिए, और मैं तो कहूँ उनका अनकाउंटर भी होना चाहिए।
Birds of a feather flock together. Monu Manesar, another notorious cow vigilante, another provocator of the Nu clashes. Manesar's video announcement about attending Monday's Yatra believed to have stirred passions. He didn't participate in the event, but rumors about his alleged presence apparently provoked the other side of the communal divide. Bittu Bajrangi revealed he met Monu Manesar barely a month ago.
मोनू मानेसर को जानते हैं? कभी उनसे आपकी बात हुई, मुलाकात हुई हो?
हाँ जी, जानते हैं। अपना गो वक्त है।
आखिरी बार कब बात?
आखिरी बात हो गया, 1 महीना हो गया। एक सम्मेलन था, वहाँ पर उनसे बात हुई थी।
A classic case of online riot tribes becoming real-life violence.
New violence has again brought spotlight on hate mongers. India Today tracked down Bittu Bajrangi, whose hate speech had gone viral on 31st of July, which many believe ultimately led to violence in Mewat area. In fact, he admitted on a camera that he had met fugitive Monu Manesar just a month back and added that there were swords and guns in Shobha Yatra. Unfazed by allegations, clearly Bittu Bajrangi has no fear for law. With Alok Das, this is Rahul Gautam reporting for India Today.
Now, we've shown you some of the villains on both sides. Sadly, we don't have all of their faces just yet, but I assure you, I give you a guarantee that we'll have all of their faces and we will grill them before anyone else can, because that's how seriously we take this unfolding story. But apart from the villains, apart from the rioters, apart from the investigation, it is the poor, it is the migrant laborers of this country that have always been the hardest hit in the wake of any communal violence. Fewer hundreds of migrants working in the Delhi suburb of Gurugram in Haryana are fleeing the city in panic. Most of these workers are from West Bengal and are now going back to their states. Many of them from the Muslim community, many of them from the Hindu community in Nu as well, choosing life over livelihood. According to some estimates, people have left Gurugram since the violence began. Most of these workers were working in high-rise societies as house helps, drivers. They've left their jobs fearing for their lives. And this is despite the Gurugram police saying that security is up and that tensions are only happening in small pockets of this sprawling suburban metropolis. India Today spoke to some of those migrants. Listen in to this exclusive report by India Today's Media.
We are in Sector 70 of Gurugram, which is very close to the Sona Road, and this is a colony of migrant laborers, many of whom who have come from West Bengal. And after the violence that erupted in Nu as well as Mewat, there have been sporadic instances of hate violence against this particular community over here as well. So I'd just like to speak to a few people to understand if they are actually facing issues, because there have been videos on social media that have been viral talking about how migrant laborers are facing the most problem. जो सोसाइटी में जो लोग हैं आसपास जो काम करता है वो लोग आप लोग को मदद कर रहे हैं अभी यहाँ पे?
है, मदद कर रहे हैं। ये गांव वाला सब मदद कर रहा है, ऐसी बात नहीं है।
क्या बोल रहे हैं?
उन लोग ये कह रहे हैं कोई परेशानी नहीं है। हाँ, जहाँ गर्म हुआ यहाँ थोड़ा से माहौल गर्म है, लेकिन हर जगह गर्म है, लेकिन यहाँ कहीं गर्म है नहीं अभी। लेकिन ऐसा ही आदमी कुछ आदमी जैसे घर चला जा रहा है उसको मना भी नहीं कर सकता इसको, इसीलिए वो लोग जा रहा है।
कितना लोग चला गया यहाँ से?
कम से कम करीब 400 लोग चले गए, 400-500।
वेस्ट बंगाल, पश्चिम बंगाल,
पूरा नहीं, कुछ बिहार का है, यूपी का था और बंगाल का था, वो लोग सब चला गया। अभी भी थोड़ा बहुत है, बाकी ऐसा कोई इधर का जो गांव वाला है, इस गांव वाला हम लोग का थोड़ा सहयोग किया। ये लोग कह रहा कोई डर नहीं है, अब सब शांत हो जाएगा। बाकी आया था 2-4-10-20 बंदा बाहर से, पता नहीं वो लोग कौन है, कैसे हम देखा भी नहीं, कभी पहचानता भी नहीं। लेकिन हमारा गांव इधर जो है पल्लव का, यहाँ का एक भी गांव वाला हमें परेशान नहीं किया।
What we've been told right now is about 300 to 400 people from this particular area have left for West Bengal, and this is why the life of migrant laborers is difficult in and around the city of Gurugram as well. And these are the people that are most affected by the meaningless violence that has led to a lot of fear-mongering and speculation among all communities within Gurugram as well. With Shailendra from Gurugram, Milan Sharma for India Today.
The communal clash, as you can see in those voices, has spread panic and fear. People making the difficult decision to leave their livelihoods and get out of places like Palwal, like Gurugram, like Nu itself as well. Shreya continues to be with us from Nu because she's going to be reporting on every aspect of the effects of this communal violence. We've heard some of those voices from Gurugram, the migrant laborers who are deciding not to stay because they don't feel safe. Shreya, what's the situation there in Nu? Are people leaving Nu as well in fear?
Well, you know, Shiv, the demography of Nu is such that, we will not see an exodus in the manner that we are seeing in Gurugram. Because when we talk about Gurugram, this is a settled city. People are coming from outside. So it's a mixed demography. There are pockets where probably we've seen that a community is living in a number as a minority. And when these clashes erupted, sporadic incidents were reported from Gurugram yesterday and day before yesterday. So for that reason, these workers or migrant workers, they work as maids in the high rises. They are choosing to leave their residences because of these visuals that were also reported from Gurugram of shanties being burnt, of isolated shops being put on fire. So it's unfortunate that it's happening. It's the duty of the law and order bodies to actually ensure that people feel safe, but that hasn't fortunately happened immediately after the new violence. So that is the reason we are seeing this exodus that has taken place from particularly the 66, 67 and 70 sector of Gurugram. We only hope that the Gurugram police takes cognizance of these and provide adequate security so that people, especially from this strata, from the migrant workers and all, they feel safer in the city of Gurugram.
And after all those police lapses that Shreya and her team have nailed down in our coverage from day one, let's hope that the police is doing its job now to guarantee the safety of these people and send out a message that they will be kept safe at all costs. We can't have another situation where migrants decide not to return to work in these cities, leaving their families very far away. We will do our best to try and reach out to get you more voices as well. Shreya, stay safe as always. Thank you very much for getting us that report. We've got some breaking news coming in now. Okay, former Haryana Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda has quoted from India Today's agenda-setting sting operation that highlighted the lapses of the Haryana police. Hooda, only the latest to take up India Today's sting operation, says this is a clear failure of the Khattar government that's been exposed. He says, why did Haryana government ignore all the warnings? Well, just to remind our viewers, the India Today's sting operation called Villains of Haryana caught on camera several police officials admitting in the most brazenly clear way that there was enough prior warning, enough intelligence to support premeditated or preemptive action by the police, which obviously did not happen, as a result of which 6 people died. Hooda saying clear lapses by the Khattar government despite intelligence. This is the power of India Today's reporting and India Today's special investigations. After a few days of a tense calm, things have re-erupted in Manipur. Big clashes were seen today between a group from the Meitei community and the armed forces. India Today, the only TV crew that reached Manipur's Bishnupur area when this violent clash between security forces and Meitei organizations broke out. This unfolded when forces tried to stop Meitei protesters from breaching the established buffer zone. India Today's Ashutosh Mishra with this exclusive ground report.
The police is retaliating. Tear shells, look at this number. There's a massive confrontation taking place here. The bullets being fired.
For 3 months, Manipur has been on the brink. India Today journalists Ashutosh Mishra and cameraman Sanjay Kumar on Thursday witnessed firsthand how tenuous the deceptive calm on the ground is.
Massive showdown in the conflict areas of Manipur. We are in Bishnupur, and this is where the buffer zone begins. As the ITLF announced mass burial of the cookies died in the conflict, these Meitei women and the entire community opposing the burial, saying this cannot be done in the Meitei land or the government land. And here is the buffer zone, because there is a massive movement of the community, including the Myra Pipesi women. The Assam Rifles have literally put out a Casper van on the road and blocking both sides and avoiding any confrontation. There you see the Indian Army, Assam Rifles, Rapid Action Forces, and these women have literally come to the bunker area. Now, if I could take you the other side, how the other side looks across the buffer zone. From here, these women are even asking the army personnel not make videos. So other side, the Casper van, this is a very long buffer zone has been drawn to avoid confrontation. But the Meitei accuses that the cookies heavily armed, have taken shelter in nearby bunkers, and that's exactly why you see this massive deployment of the armed forces has been done in this region. So not only the police person, not only the state commando, but also the village defense forces.
Hundreds of people belonging to Meitei community tried to breach the buffer zone created by security forces in Bishnupur. Clashes erupted when the security forces stopped them.
More than 50,000 people are still there in relief camps. They have lost their houses. All the students are losing their academic career. Only one single piece of cloth they are coming in relief camp. They're also not for 1 month, not for 2 months. It's already 3 months.
But this area continue to be a volatile zone. There is often firing reported. Will it be safe for you to stay here?
If it is safe or not, we are ready to face anything now, because we have already waited for 3-4 months waiting for the state government and Indian government to solve the problem. But how many days, how many months still we have to wait for that? We are not able to bear this, because our state government and they all making the drones and all, we are watching that. The cookie are coming freely to our land, but we are not even allowed to enter to our own houses. What is this? Is the cookie the Indians, or is Manipuri? We are immigrants. We want to ask this.
The security forces used chili spray and tear gas, and when that did not work, opened fire in the air to contain trouble.
Tear shells, look at this. There's a massive confrontation taking place here. The bullets being fired. This is the massive confrontation taking place. Stone pelting. This is भारी भरकम गोलीबारी हो रही है, और इस आर्मर्ड गाड़ी के पीछे हम रुके हुए हैं. गोलियां चल रही हैं इस समय यहाँ पे. दरअसल कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश की जा रही है. जैसे क्लैश बढ़ा, रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स ने महिलाओं को पीछे करने की कोशिश की, और यहाँ पे देखिए पुलिस की गोलीबारी हो रही है.
The security forces have created buffer zones separating the Meiteis and Kuki-Zomi communities.
As the confrontation takes place, we have been advised to evacuate this area. Mostly the civilians who are unarmed have been asked to go to the safer places. The women, those who were injured, were taken to the hospital in the massive confrontation. And now it is the defense forces and the state forces are heading further to the conflict areas. And we've been asked to leave and quickly evacuate this area, who are totally unarmed.
The face-off on Thursday is a grim reminder of the deep divide in Manipur. Bureau Report, India Today.
And after Bishnupur, there are fresh tensions in Manipur's capital, Imphal, as well, where protests have broken out. The police have just fired tear gas to disperse protesters in Imphal as well. This appears to be a real re-eruption of tensions in the northeastern state. Here's the latest ground report that we're getting to you from India Today's Ashutosh Mishra.
While tension escalating in the bordering areas of the valley and the hills, the situation remains tense even in the heart of the city, the capital, Imphal. Massive deployment of the forces, security forces on all over the city. The curfew relaxation has been withdrawn, and all you see now, the central forces like BSF and several other the armed forces of the state police, they are not only barricading, putting barbed wires to all the pockets. However, this is one pocket in the city where there are several protesters who are in clash with the armed police personnel. Intermittent tear shell firing taking place in this area. This explains that past 2-3 days, whatever the peace and the situation of peace that was visible, this all of a sudden escalated since this morning from the bordering areas, from the conflict zone to even the heart of the city in Imphal, capital.
We'll keep track of both those stories very, very closely because they're developing as we speak. That's a wrap on 5 Live. I'll see you at the same time tomorrow.